if that's you, you
Yes.
can come get wherever you're comfortable, preferably toward the center of the benches there, because that's where the microphone is in case I need to hear you, if you intend to participate in this proceeding. You're not?
What's the charge?
Say that again for me, please, Mr. Snipes.
What are the charges?
Well, this isn't a charge. What they're asking is just for a court order that tells you to stay away from them and from the home.
You ain't gonna disrespect me in my permanent address. I'm still sick. I'm in recovery, and you know that. Ain't no confrontation. Ain't nothing took place about nothing other than y'all know what I got going on.
Okay, well, let me stop you right there. But Mr. Snipes, here's what I'm here to decide today. And here's what I'm going to hope to hear about from somebody. First, whether everybody lives in DeKalb County. My guess is probably. Second, whether there have been acts committed that justify a protective order. And there's a list of them in Georgia. Any felony, trespassing, stalking, battery, simple battery, assault. Those are some examples of the types of things that can extend a protective order. So I would hear testimony from a party, one or more, and I would decide whether there was evidence that would help establish that claim. The witnesses testify. You have a chance to suggest questions if you think there are questions that would be helpful. If I agree that they're helpful, I'll ask them. If I don't think they're helpful, then we'll just move past it. And then you have a chance to make a statement if you wish to give testimony about what you've heard. Do you understand that process?
About what I've heard, I'm supposed to be, who am I in this? Who am I? What role am I playing?
The term we use is respondent. She is the petitioner because she filed a petition seeking a protective order. You are the respondent because you are responding to that request.
And with the request for a protective order against who?
Against you. She's asking that you stay away from her and her home.
Closer to resolution, but it's now up to a judge to decide.
Okay, I'm going to put you on mute, ma'am, just to help cut down some background noise.
Yeah, because you got I'm telling you, we're finna have a problem.
I'm sorry, say that again, Mr. Snipes.
I'm saying, what's going on, man? I was court ordered to pay rent from the jump, man. I've been paying rent, all this TPO and hey, look, man, ain't no criminal, ain't nothing happened, no confrontation, ain't nothing happened for no damn TPO to be granted with no judge, prosecutor, no lawyer, no crime has been committed. I was court ordered to pay rent. I've been paying rent. I ain't said nothing about nothing from the jump.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we have an evidentiary dispute and there's only one way to resolve it. So I'm going to send a prompt for the other party to unmute, and I'm going to ask her to raise her right hand once she's done that.
I'm not going to put up with this, man. Ain't nothing took place, man. I paid my rent. I ain't said nothing about nothing. I'm still court ordered to pay rent. This is not no game to me. I'm still in recovery. I don't even want to be in your house, but I'm outside. It's my permanent address, man. It ain't nothing disrespectful that took place, whatever y'all got going on.
We're doing a lot of talking here, but the one thing I want to hone in on is this. If no crime has been committed and nothing happened, then that's going to work out pretty well for you as it relates to this hearing. But the only way that we get to the, man, if I can't finish, this gets real tough. This is the second one in a row where that's been a challenge. So here's the thing. The only person who gets to decide that is the man or woman in black. And today that's me. So you might be right, but I don't know yet because I haven't heard from anybody other than the little bit you've told me just now. So I've got somebody here who, ma'am, do you see a button in the bottom left that looks like a microphone that'll turn your sound back on? Very good. I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand for me. Do you swear to tell the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Tell us your name, please.
Marion Fallon.
All right. Miss Fallon, who is this gentleman that we're with on the other Zoom feed?
That's my grandson, Zachary Snipes.
All right. And I was going to ask how long you've known him. Is the answer to that all his life?
Yes.
All right. Has there been a period of time that he has lived with you?
Yes.
When was the most recent period that he lived with you?
It been 2021. The last time he was here was 21.
Okay, so he's been gone. He's been living elsewhere for a little while.
Yes, he was on a PPO then.
Okay.
And I don't know where he was staying then.
Was there an incident well, after he moved out, was there a point in time that you told him or a court order told him not to return to the property?
Yes.
Okay. Did you tell him that you wanted him to stay away?
Yes.
All right. And did you seek a court order or have some sort of criminal bond condition that said something similar?
No.
We had a PPO.
Yeah, well, I put in for the TPO again because he came after his thing was released. He came back here, and
so let me pause for a second to make sure I'm understanding. Have you had a TPO against Mr. Zachary Snipes in the past?
Right.
And now you've applied for another one and you've received your preliminary order, and that's what we're here for today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Your previous TPO, what year did that expire, if you could make your best guess?
It expired 22. I think it expired.
And I know you've
22.
got family there helping you.
September 22. That's when it expired.
And I know you've got family there helping you. Am I going to need to hear from them sometime today, or do you think that you're going to handle this yourself?
I'm going to handle it myself, hopefully.
Okay. Well, I know that they're trying to help clarify some things, and I appreciate that. But for the most part, I just want to hear from you. And so if I ask a question about a date, I don't want you to feel stressed like you have to get it exactly right. What I tell people is, the first thing that pops into your head is probably a fair answer. So if I ask you a question about when was that last order and you think, oh, it was sometime last fall, just say sometime last fall. That's a good, honest answer. Whether it was September or October doesn't really change. It just gives me an idea of what's going on.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. So he's been told not to return. Did he come back to the property and get arrested for some activity in June?
Yes. Of this
Tell
year,
me what happened, please.
Well, when he came back, he was outside, and he was just being destructive. I have a system. He tore the system down, and he just moved in on my car porch and wouldn't leave. And he was disturbing because over in the night he would just get some kind of stick or iron pole or something and just beat the house.
Okay.
And kept everybody awake. That was like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Now, when you say you had a system, do you mean a security system?
Yes.
For cameras?
Yes.
Okay. Were some of those damaged?
He tore them down.
Okay. What would you estimate?
Off the roof.
Were they damaged and not working right, or did they just have to be put back where they were?
We got somebody to put them back where they were.
Okay. Was there any monetary damage from that?
No.
Okay. Sir, I know you're trying to help, but let's just let Miss Fallon do the heavy lifting on this one. She's doing great. So how long was he on the property?
Well, he was ever since he got back out of jail, because he broke the restraining order. So they picked him up for 6 months after then. So after the 6 months, which he came back here, I guess he was back and forth on this property since then, about a month. Just outside doing.
Going to jail, man.
He was there for a month?
Oh, they fake that line shit, man. Find the damn charge, man.
After he got out the last time, he was back over here, said this was his permanent home, and he was just outside, and he was up and down the street. He would leave for a minute, but he would always come back and stay out there on the carport.
Okay. Now this is the same place where you live, is that right?
Right.
Now, when was the last time you told him to stay away?
I told him the day they picked him up with just a few months ago, a month ago, or whenever they just
okay, but before that is what I'm asking about. When was the last time before June?
Oh,
and see, whatever y'all just
he hadn't been around before that time.
He had been gone for a while, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he had been gone. He had been gone maybe a year and a half, a year, close to 2 years, really.
Okay.
Because he stayed away that whole first year that he was supposed to stay away. But then he came back and go sleep in a car that was outside on the carport. And then I told him, no, you can't do that. You got to go. And he wouldn't go. And then we had to call the cops on him again to get him. So that's when they looked in and found out he had broke his promise about the TPO. So that they sent him away then for about 6 months. Then he came back, and that's when he started standing on the carport again, saying that this was his house, his permanent address, rather. And I said, no, you can't stay here. You need to go. I don't want you here. And but he wouldn't listen. He'll go away for a few hours, and then he'll come back. He was up and down the street. Then over in the night, he would beat upside the house. And he was also, when he was on the carport, he would block the door.
All right, well, give me just a minute here. Let me turn to Mr. Snipes. Mr. Snipes, do you have any questions that you think I need to ask Ms. Fallon?
Hey, first of all, what crime has been committed?
What time, what?
First of all, I was court ordered to pay rent. What crime has been committed for the judge, which was no judge, no prosecutor, no lawyer, no crime, to even grant a TPO while I'm going through what I'm going through?
All right, so we got to break this down into pieces. That's a lot of questions.
It's really,
ma'am, is there anything? Hang on, Mr. Snipes. I'm going to do the breaking down.
Okay.
This is a team effort. We all work together to get through these cases.
All right.
Ms. Fallon, do you know anything about him paying rent to you? Like a court order?
He wasn't paying any rent to me.
Well, do you know anything about a court order to pay rent?
Well, yeah, they said he's supposed to, but he never did give. That was when he first, that was been years ago. For some reason, he seemed to think that.
Can you estimate how many years ago? Okay. Mr. Snipes, can you estimate, do you agree with that answer?
The amount of time that I had to pay rent.
Like, do you think that court is 5+ years old?
No, it's not 5 years old. I was court ordered to pay rent maybe 20, my time, your time, my day, your day, my month, your month might be off. Or your might be off, but it was supposed to be around 2020, because the TPO was granted probably around 2022, 21, somewhere around there.
What court do you think told you to pay rent?
It was downtown Decatur. It might be downtown Decatur. Might be something else anyway. You know what I'm saying? I got something going on. I got some other stuff going on, and you know.
Okay, and let me ask this: what?
A court order to pay rent. You know what I'm saying? I was paying rent. I was paying her. I asked her one time before to write down the payment or let me direct deposit her my monthly payments and rent so I can have a record of it. She said no. She turned down.
Let me pause you right here, Mr. Snipes, because I was trying to focus first on questions. Would you rather I swear you in so you can make your statements?
Yes, you can.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to tell the truth today?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down. And do you swear the statements you've already made have also been the truth already?
Yes.
Okay, so we can carry on where we left off then. So that arrangement was made some years ago. She says about 5, you say about 3 years ago maybe. But you were removed from the home by a protective order sometime after that, right?
Home for no protective order. It was an involuntary evaluation. I'm currently going through SSI case in which I have health issues that I'm taking care of and stuff like that. So I guess they went and did what they did, you know, because the conversation that I was trying to have or that I had with them about some things that was taking place in which I guess they just didn't like it or whatever took place or whatever. And I told them what was going on. So they went wherever they went or whatever they did. And, you know, next thing you know, the cab county came to the home and removed me from the home. And this is during paying, this is while I'm paying rent and stuff like that. And I was evaluated, mental evaluation at the crisis center. And then to the Georgia Regional, I was diagnosed with my health diagnosis and stuff like that. And I'm still in recovery from other health issues, surgeries and stuff like that. And I'm still court to pay rent. This TPO and all this other stuff, I don't know where it came from, other than them trying to, you know, I'm already upfront and honest with them about my health issues and stuff like that, but I'm diagnosed with.
Okay, well, let me jump in here so I can hopefully shed some light on the situation.
Okay.
She says that you were back at the house in June and that she had told you not to come back.
Man, it wasn't no crime that's been committed, and it wasn't a false TPO. Ain't nothing.
Okay, well, she has provided testimony that you went back to the house. How did you get arrested?
First of all, I just told you, my father, Tony Snipes, said, come on back to the house. It ain't been no crimes and nothing that's been committed, man. If they don't want to talk about anything that's been taking place, maybe behind my back or while I'm taking care of my business and what I'm bringing to them and what y'all are bringing to me, then fine. But other than that, it has not been no confrontation, no crime or anything.
So where were you when you were arrested?
What you mean?
Where were you when you were arrested in June?
In my permanent address.
Okay. I can tell that you're very smart. You're very clever in how you respond to questions.
It's not about being smart. I'm up for the answer about what I do, and I'm still having health issues, and I'm having complications, man. It's nothing that's been done for me to be going through what I'm going through, and still upfront and honest about what I got going on and paying, and really I ain't said nothing about paying and still doing what I'm supposed to be doing for, you know, me to be home and trying to gather my things and get myself together to get up out that house, man. I'm not going to be walking around on no disrespectful shit like I got somewhere to go. Now, if everybody is all together behind my back and we all hee ha ha and don't nobody want to come clean about what's going on, then that's y'all business. But I'm
not. Well, I'll try to elaborate on what I can. And what I'll say is this. Some of these concerns, these theories that you're expressing, we have a lot of people that come through these courts that have a lot of the same views and a lot of the same types of opinions that you do. And oftentimes, doctors will try to treat them with certain medication or diagnose them with certain conditions.
I have crimes have been committed that I am a victim of. I am not going to see him be disrespected for no reason. If it's a real problem, bring me to state court with a prosecutor, lawyers, and judges. About my business, man. You're not going to.
Well, so here's the thing, Mr. Snipes. You're talking to me from the DeKalb County Jail. So a prosecutor right now is still pursuing charges against you. Those charges are in some ways related. I'm still going, sir.
Ain't no crime been committed for no charges to be brought against me again.
Well, I'm not here about a crime. I'm here about a protective order. Now, there's some overlap between those two. But here, boy, it is real hard for me. Excuse me, sir. It's real hard for me to finish this sentence. Now, so, Mr. Snipes.
What's going on, man?
So, the way that these things work.
I know how it works.
She is here to talk about a trespass. Man. She has said that you were there without her permission.
Man, I don't need no permission in my Man, what is you saying, man? If we got a problem, man,
but when you're removed from a property by a court order, that ceases to be your permanent address. You can't just dig in there like it's a tree stump and then exist forever or go back when you want.
Because I'm not going to sit here and play games with y'all, man. I just told you what's going on. If you a judge, man, and you pull up my paperwork and you got the information you need, y'all ain't finna disrespect me, man. When the crime has occurred that I can stand on and I can take accountability for, that's what I'm going to do. Ain't no crime occurred, I ain't did nothing, and I got shit to take care of, and I still have a complication with my health, and I'm currently in the middle of something, man. When you find something,
okay. Well, I will let you return to the other things that you are in the middle of. The ruling that I will be making for today is as follows. I have to decide whether it's more likely than not that you have engaged in behavior that violates the Family Violence Act in the state of Georgia. My finding is that you have, and my finding is that that is the case, specifically in regards to an allegation of trespassing. In regards to property being interfered with, disrupted, or entered upon without permission or after orders not to return, both court orders and personal orders based on the record that was presented. So the order that I am going to draft will order you to stay away from Ms. Fallon's homework or school and to stay 100 yards away from her and have no contact with her of any kind. That is not your permanent address. There is no such thing as a permanent address. It may be your last address, but if you don't get another address, then you would be considered unhoused. And so that is where this is going. If you return there for any reason or for no reason at all, you would be subject to rearrest on additional charges. I have said what I need to say as calmly and slowly as I can. I understand that you've been speaking most of the time that I've been talking. So I hope that you have heard and understood it, even if you don't agree with it. What I told the last person during my last hearing is that every time I see two people, I make at least one of them mad. That's what this job is. If there was an agreement between the parties, there would already be an agreement, but there's not. So here I am. So I've heard from everybody. I have done the best I can to get the information relevant to the decision I have to make. Once I have the information, I take those facts as I believe them to be based on my determination and apply them to the law as I know it to be based on my 16 years since I graduated law school. My ruling is for the plaintiff. I will draft that order and enter it later this week. You have concluded your business with the court. You are free to return to wherever in the jail you will return. Ms. Fallon, you have concluded your business with the court. You are free to log off, and we thank you for working with us today.
Can I ask you a question?
All right.
Is any kind of way that you can refer him to some kind of facility so he could get back on the medications or something like that? Is it anybody I could go to help him with that? Because all the stuff he just said, it happened years ago, not just since June. It happened years ago. But for some reason, he really has a mental problem, block, and he keep going back to those years, you know. So I was just wondering, was anybody?
Our recourse is very limited in this setting, but I will do what I can. How effective that will be, I cannot say. A better option would be the criminal side of the system, would be my opinion, versus the protective order side.
Right.
I would say talk to the solicitor's office about your criminal case and see what they tell you. They would have some information about that because they've, I'll be frank, I was in the solicitor's office starting in 2011, and I think I saw him close in time to when I started. I did not handle his case in any way, but I believe that I've been in a physical courtroom with Mr. Snipes before. I don't know if that's true, but it feels familiar. It might just be a familiar name. I know there's a famous actor with the same last name, but so I don't know, but this, you can tell from everything everybody said that this is quite a long-running situation. So I would say stay in contact with the solicitor because that's what's holding him in the jail now, and they will be able to tell you what options are available as far as treatment as part of a sentence. as part of a bond or as a condition of pretrial release before release, if that sort of thing is available.
Okay.
But for now, you can log off, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
All right, thanks.
Good luck, Mr. Snipes.
Thank you.